Peru is known worldwide for its grapes, asparagus and avocados. Now, new deals struck with China could unlock the country's potential as an agro-export powerhouse and build on a 2010 bilateral free trade agreement, Peru's Agriculture Minister Angel Manero told CGTN.
We are currently complementing this free trade agreement to include other food items, so that in terms of tariffs, we already have an agreement with China with practically zero tariffs on all foods. What we need to add are the sanitary agreements.
Peru's President Dina Boluarte visited China in late June, meeting President Xi Jinping as part of a 5-day visit that cemented the bilateral relationship and opened up business opportunities.
With the visit of our president to China a few weeks ago, it was possible to speed up an agenda to incorporate new products in these sanitary agreements. We're talking about frozen fruit, pomegranates, pecans, and also the possibility of exporting meat, beef and pork.
The visit helped to expand the country's $23 billion bilateral trade relationship that is so far dominated by exports of Peruvian copper and other minerals to China, as Chinese computers and cars are imported by Peru. But now, with these sanitary agreements related to meat exports, recognizing that Peru is free of foot and mouth disease, a new market has opened up, the minister told CGTN.
Peru is not a meat exporter, and meat exports are mainly for high-quality premium meat. That's what the US and European markets generally demand. But the Chinese market, like Peru, has a very powerful gastronomy that allows you to use all the cuts. If we talk about beef, all the cuts of the cow. That is why the Chinese market is so important for us, because China not only buys the premium meat, but also buys the intermediate quality. It buys the offal. It buys all parts of the cow.
The minister added that building on Peru's stock of 5.8 million cattle would not involve deforesting the Amazon, as in neighboring countries like Brazil and Bolivia.
Peru has 30 million hectares in the Andean mountain region. In other words, we do not need to deforest to have an important meat industry. We have a lot of space to develop pastures in the Andean region, to have the animals there. So, if we look at the future, countries like Brazil are going to tend to reduce their production due to the environmental issue, and the countries that have an Andean region like us, where there is no environmental problem, will have more possibilities.
A new megaport is under construction just north of the Peruvian capital, Lima, in Chancay. The deep water facility is anticipated to serve as a major trade hub between South America and China. Once up and running, the port will reduce transport times, opening up new agro-export possibilities for mangoes, among other products, the minister told CGTN.
The port of Chancay will allow us to export, if it's a fast ship, in 16 and 17 days, if it's a slower ship, in 20 to 21 days. That allows fresh mango to reach the Chinese market, and that's a good thing, because China is a major consumer of mangoes, right? There is a lot of demand for red and yellow mangoes for the Chinese New Year.
Minister Manero stressed that both countries have millennial cultures, developing agriculture some 8,000 years ago. The relationship is strong and has potential to grow. Next
year, we should export $500 million in agro-exports. That does not seem much. $500 million out of $10 billion is 5%. But there is a very important point. China grows 10% every year in terms of our shipments. It means that every 5 or 6 years, our shipments to China double. If we follow that logic, in 20 years, China will be our main agro-export market.